Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Sandra Calise, and I am your host. Guys, this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little weird, a little strange to say the least. We are getting into all things Drea. Ooh, awkward silence and stuff. Awkward silence and stuff. No, but first and foremost, I just want to say that I am so glad and so happy to have you guys back here with me. It is always such a privilege to sit and have conversation with you guys. I'm loving the feedback that you guys are giving me on social media. I absolutely adore it, and I'm just so grateful to have a community of people who genuinely are so supportive and who just stick beside me and just give me honest feedback because guys, that's what I really need. Like that's what I want, right? I'm still new to this whole podcast thing and it's so fun and I love it so much, but your honest feedback means the world to me. So let's just get right into this. First and foremost, my name is Sandria. I am 21 years old. I just turned 21 back in February. Okay, why did I pause like that? Like I didn't know my birthday, sorry. No, but I just turned 21 back in February. February 6th is my birthday. I graduated high school from Franklin County High School in 2023, so I've been out of school for a little bit now. Not as not for a long time, but for a good amount of time. I did go on to further my education at Georgia Gwinnett College up in Lawrenceville, Georgia, but I had to come on home. We come to the house. We did. We had to because we came home for reasons that I just won't mention. But I went up there and realized that the city life is not for Tria. No, it is not. Um, that's crazy. And I know that some people might think that, that's not the city or whatever. That's not like big city living. But honey, to me, it is. Okay. It shook me up just a little bit. And I was calling my mama and I was like, Mama, please let me come home. I don't like it up here. But I do just want to give a quick little shout out to my girl Jada. She is my New York baby and I love her down, y'all. I don't think I would have survived GGC without her. Like, she is one of the realest. I love her so, so, so much. We still keep in close contact today. So, Jada girl, if you're listening, I love you so much. And thank you so much for having my back up there at that GGC. Let's see. I did a poll on Instagram the other day just to see if you guys wanted to know a little bit about Drea, and every single one of you guys said absolutely. I was born in 2005, so I am a youngin. Unfortunately, I'm a baby. Like I said, I am 21 years old. Not too much on me though. Right. Because wisdom does not always come with age. No, it doesn't. I was saved really, really young, so I have a little bit of experience spiritually, but nevertheless, now let's just talk about how Drea come to know Jesus. I wish I could tell you guys that I remember verbatim everything that happened in my childhood, as far as how it. My memory is just so vague, y'all. It is. It's just not. It's not good. I don't have a good memory. And I know for a fact that I've had to tell this testimony 50 million times. So I know for a fact that I have it wrote down, but what's better? Let's just keep it real, right? I don't really remember much of my childhood as far as church goes, but I remember being in church, if that makes sense. I remember growing up in church. My mom, she made sure that we were in church on Sundays along with my grandparents, my grandma, my grandfather. They made sure that we were in church on Sundays when we could be. I remember being younger and singing in the church choir just a little bit. Yeah, y'all, but if I'm being honest, I didn't truly meet him till I was about 16, 17 years old. No joke. Like, I went my entire childhood knowing of Jesus, but I did not get to know Jesus until I was like 16, 17 years old. When I was in high school, I fell into some really, really heavy depression. Like, really, really heavy, right? And it really I really just did not understand it, because you go from just like being this bubbly person, this wonderful person that people enjoy being around and that you enjoy being around people, to just this person that just isolating yourself and not wanting to talk anymore, barely eating, these type of things, and it sort of makes your mind like go crazy, right? So I'm trying to figure out what in the world is happening to me. Along with being in school, I was a cheerleader in high school, so I had a ton of things going on when I was in school. And then I'm trying to wrap my brain around just being a normal teenage girl. So I went through this like insane identity crisis where I just did not know who I was. I was so busy trying to be everybody else but Sandria, and it literally took the biggest toll on me. It was the scariest thing I have ever faced. But one thing led to another. I started to have like really intense suicidal thoughts. And again, I grew up in church, so Jesus was always the answer. But I feel like something that people don't really talk about is like when you grow up in church, or like not even just growing up in church, but just like when you deal with stuff like that, I feel like sometimes people make it seem like these are not real things that people deal with. Like anxiety is not a real thing that people deal with. Depression is not a real thing that people deal with. That is crazy to me because it is so very real and people absolutely deal with it, right? Right? God wouldn't have told us to cast our worries or our anxieties if these were not things that people actually dealt with, right? Like Jesus, like he would have never, right? So I am in high school, like I said before, cheerleading, just trying to, keep up with the popular trends in high school as one teenage girl normally does, but always knowing that I was different. Like I would hang out with people, and it just, I don't know. I started to develop very, very keen discernment very, very young. And again, I did not really know Jesus like that. So I had no idea why I was feeling this way, why I couldn't be around certain people, why I would feel a certain way. And like, y'all, I'm telling you, when I was younger and really didn't understand that my discernment was discerning, I would be sick, and this stuff still happens to this day, but like I would get really bad headaches. I would get really sick, just all these crazy, crazy things. And, it wasn't until I got older and really understood discernment that I realized, okay, my spirit is trying to tell me something. The Lord is trying to tell me something. Holy Spirit is trying to speak right now. But no, I got baptized May 22nd of 2022. It was a beautiful baptism, but it was then where I really started to take my walk with the Lord serious, because first of all, in that gap of the depression and everything else, the depression started when I was really, really young, but I really didn't name it depression until I was about 16, 17. But it really started when I was about 14, 15. And honestly, that's when when I do tell this testimony, that's when I feel the Lord first began speaking to me. I want to say I was like 14, 15 years old. I had a dream. And this is one of the many ways the Lord still speaks to me today. I had a dream, and I was standing in front of a crowd of people, and I want to say the people, it was younger children. I want to say they were like 14, 15, around the age that I was at the time. And I was just telling them about Jesus, and the energy in the room was just it was so focused, right? It was so beautiful. It was so real. It was so raw, right? And it was like in that moment, I was like, I feel like the Lord is calling me to something bigger than myself. But again, I was wrapped up that was like in my mind, but it was the back of my mind, right? I was like, I feel like the Lord is trying to tell me something, but I don't want to be crazy, right? I don't want to seem insane, right? Because, I'm going to say this without saying too much, and Holy Spirit, please help me, because I don't want to, yeah. But sometimes traditional things will cause you to feel that you are crazy, or that you are too young to be experiencing the things that you're experiencing. Honey, that is a lie straight from hell. Okay? If there's any advice I ever give you on this podcast, is to know Jesus for yourself and connect with people who speak nothing but the truth. Not people that speak partly truth, not people that speak half truth. The truth and the truth only, 100% the truth all the way around. Not the truth manipulated, not the truth misconstrued, not the truth taken out of context. People who speak nothing but the unadulterated word of God. Okay? But yeah, being young, you start to I realized that the Lord was calling me to something higher than myself, but I was still dealing with all this thing in high school. So I had fell into some really, really dark suicidal depression, and I was taking pills and stuff, like just doing crazy stuff, and I ended up in the hospital. And a few weeks after that, the Lord had sent me a dream. And again, which I've already told you guys about the dream, but that was really the first time that the Lord had really spoke to me, and I took it to my current pastor, my pastor now, and she basically told me, "Girl, you ain't seen nothing yet." So that's kind of how it all unfolded for me in 2022, is really when I started walking with the Lord. And since then, it has been a daily walk of surrender, right? It has been trial and error. It has been joy. It has been sorrow. It has been beauty. It has been all the things. But God has been consistent in it through every single bit of it. And I'm just so, so grateful. But let's just shift the mood a little bit. Sorry, I feel like that was really, really heavy. But that's just my testimony. And you guys, if you want to DM me or talk about anything that I said in that's kind of stood out to you, please do so. My social medias are always listed, and I'm available to talk at any time. But let's get into some lighter stuff. What is real? Like, I don't know. I feel like I have to write out a list. I like coffee. I drink a lot of coffee, like cold and hot, actually. I love hot coffee with my grandmother. My grandmother on my dad's side, Lord rest her soul, love that lady so much, miss her so much. But when I was younger, and my mom knows this, so whatever. But when I was younger, she used to make black coffee, and she'd put just a little bit of sugar in it. And she would always be like, "You want the rest?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I do." But at the time, drinking coffee, that was like an adult thing. Like, I had no business being 9 drinking coffee. Like, that was crazy. But I still drink coffee to this day. Like, I really do. I love coffee, cold or hot. Just went on a tangent about coffee. That's weird. I love to go thrifting. I love a good sale, honey. It's one thing about it, and two things are for sure. I love a good sale. Okay. Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. I love a good sale. I love to thrift. I just recently got into sewing, which is really, really cool. I'm having a time with my sewing machine. Like, it's like the top stitches are stitching, but the bottom stitches won't stitch. They won't do the thing. But I'm loving it so far. Like, from the some of the stuff that I've did, it's just, I love it. It stimulates my brain so well. Speaking of things that stimulate my brain well, I love to read. I love to read. I love a good book. I love to write poetry. I love to read poetry. I write a lot of poetry right now, actually. People, first of all, people can write poetry anytime they want. Y'all, when I say I literally write poetry every single day, when I say I literally write every single day, I have more journals than one person should have. Like, I write every single day. And it's because, I'm sure you guys can relate, I feel really deeply. And sometimes I don't understand what I feel. Sometimes I can't express what I feel, so I write it down. I'm telling you, sometimes I trust a pen and a piece of paper more than I trust a person. Okay, just being honest with you. Me and pen and paper are locked in. I love lavender. I love pink. I love red. Me and red go together so good. It's such a fun color. It's such a fun color. I really like ice. Yeah, that's a problem because I have really low iron, actually. And yeah, I do. Really low iron. It's just not good. Poor Victoria, my primary, she's like, "Girl, you got to lay off the ice." And I'm like, "Okay." As I go fix some ice from the fridge. It's bad. It's so bad, y'all. I like being with my friends. Shout out. First of all, I love my friends. I love making new friends. As awkward as I am, I talk a lot. If y'all cannot tell, I feel like, no, y'all know that by now. And I talk a lot, and I talk real fast. Like, please slow down. Please slow down. I talk really, really fast. But I just want to say, I love making new friends, and I love talking to people about a lot of crazy, crazy things. But I just want to shout out my besties. Let me shout out Kaylin and Erica right quick, because them are my girls. Let me tell y'all, we have been friends since elementary school, but the Lord kind of separated us. We went our separate ways, and then he brought us back together a few months ago, and it has been the best thing ever in the world. Shout out to Rick for making me an aunt. Hi, Stacey, man. Love you so much. Yeah, no, but it has been crazy. Those girls are the definition of friends who hold you accountable. They are the definition of loyalty. They are the definition of honesty. Those girls, my girls, okay? I'm so glad, so proud, so blessed to be in friendship with those girls. Let me just tell you. Anyways, that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this silly little quirky little episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Also, stay tuned for Friday's episode, guys. I'm coming at you guys with part 2 for The Held While I Heal. I'm so super excited about that episode, guys, and I know that God is going to speak a word, as he always does. So you guys, if you guys could continue to just pray for me there. And again, my DMs are always open, guys. If you need prayer, if you just need someone to talk to, I'm always open and I'm always available. If I can't get to you in that second, I promise you I will respond. I am not one of those people who just like leave you undelivered and never text you back. I unfortunately am a little too glued to my phone and a little too responsive, as some would say. But anyways, guys, my name is Sandria Calise. This is Held at His Feet, and I'll talk to you soon.